It's a beautiful afternoon for baseball. The Twins would like to get back into a pattern of winning every series, and they can do that this afternoon if they can win the final game of this series against the Detroit Tigers. The Tigers won Game 1. They were briefly in first place, but now the Twins back where they've been most of this year, narrowly ahead of the Tigers in the American League Central. And welcome to Target Field on this beautiful day, along with Bert Blyleven and I'm Dick Bramer. Of course, the Twins playing their first season at Target Field and moving everything into this new ballpark. We really weren't sure what to expect when we got here. The Twins, part of the ad campaign getting into the new ballpark, used their players to promote the fact that they were moving outdoors, and no one knew what type of ballpark they were moving into. Well, one thing is pretty clear. The guy on the right seems to enjoy his new ballpark, Denard Span.
Michael Kadire and Denard Span right there having some fun, but we go back to the exhibition games the Twins played here to open up Target Field against the St. Louis Cardinals. In his first at-bat, Denard Span, a triple down the right field line. And in last night's ballgame, we saw Denard Span hit 3 triples, currently leading the American League with 7 triples. Denard Span has certainly enjoyed Target Field here so far this year, hitting .387, able to get on base, scores a lot of runs, and, he's such a big part of the offense for the Minnesota Twins. When he gets on, he makes things happen. Last night, quite a game, 4 for 4 with a walk, and he drove in 5 runs.
Well, if this ballpark doesn't give up many home runs, at least for Denard Span, is giving up a lot of triples. We'll see if he can get another one here today against the Detroit Tigers. When we come back, we'll honor one of the Twins' 50 greatest, second baseman, coach, manager, broadcaster, Frank Quilici. To you by your local Northland Ford dealers. Visit your local Northland Ford dealer or go to northlandford.com. And by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards.
What a beautiful day for baseball today at Target Field as the Twins try to take this 3-game series over the Detroit Tigers. I'm Robbie Mikowski, and in honor of the Twins' 50th season here in Twins territory, they are honoring their 50 greatest in the organization. The list was comprised by television, print, and radio journalists throughout Twins territory, as well as senior members of the Minnesota Twins staff. Today, we honor Frank Quilici, who was a former Twins player, manager, and broadcaster.
Frank Quilici found a place in our hearts the day he wrote his name in the record book.
Quilici will be satisfied with a double.
In Game 1 of the 1965 World Series, Quilici became the 13th player in postseason history to get 2 hits in a single inning. A notable highlight in an 8-2 beating of Don Drysdale and the Dodgers. A disciple of Billy Martin, Quilici played Twins baseball long before the phrase was even invented. He was a hard-working utility guy who maximized his skills with a heads-up game built on hustle and true grit. Frank was only 33 when owner Calvin Griffith made him the Twins manager in the summer of 1972, a job he held through the 1975 season. From there, he entered the broadcast booth, talking baseball to the fans who found a place in their hearts for Frank Quilici. Paul Hipp, Fox Sports North.
Paul Hipp, a longtime producer at Fox Sports North. Tom Hanneman, former Twins reporter, current voice of the Minnesota Timberwolves. That man, Kevin Slowey, takes to the mound. The Twins try to get a victory. Dick and Bert with first pitch next.
Afternoon, and Kevin Slowey hoping to do kind of what Nick Blackburn did last night, get back on the beam and give the Twins a chance to win. Menard's batting order that he'll face for the Detroit Tigers. Austin Jackson having a great rookie season. He'll be followed by Johnny Damon, then Maglio Ordonez, the designated hitter, Miguel Cabrera, Brennan Bosch, Carlos Guillen, Brandon Inge, Gerald Laird, and then Danny Worth.
And the Jeep scouting report on Kevin Slowey making his 16th start. I talked in the pregame about Kevin Slowey, what he needs to do, and that's to control the fastball down and away. Pitching coach Rick Anderson would also like him to change speeds a little bit more, especially when he gets behind an account. Only 4 quality starts in his first 15 starts, and that's what the Twins need here this afternoon against the Tigers. That he's making his 7th start. He's never lost to the Tigers. He's 4-0 lifetime against the Detroit Tigers.
Northland Ford defense for the Twins. And a little bit of a different look with the day game after the night game. The outfield looks the same. Young, Span, and Kubel. Kadires at third, Puntos at short. Hudson's at second, Morno's at first. The change behind the plate with Drew Butera doing the catching. And Jim Thome is the designated hitter. So Joe Mauer starting the game out of the lineup. Earlier this year, the Twins swept the Detroit Tigers in a 3-game series here. Now they hope to take 2 out of 3 and increase the lead in the American League Central to a 1.5 games.
Yeah, Kevin Slowey pitched one of those ball games here, and the Twins ended up winning that ball game 5-4. Slowey getting the win in that ball game.
First pitch strike to Austin Jackson.
And that's a good sign right there. Keep the ball down in the strike zone. That's what Drew Butera is going to try to do right here. Stay as low as you can in that crouch position and give him a good low target.
That's doinked down the right field line, and Jackson has a hit to start the ball game. Didn't hit it well, but he's aboard with a leadoff single. If you could only go to one baseball game and you could pick the weather to go see it in, this would be it. Low humidity, gentle breeze. The temperature will climb, they say, to about 80 degrees.
I think a lot of workers are playing hooky here this afternoon. An absolutely beautiful day.
Johnny Damon, the hitter, with Jackson and his speed at first. And strike 1. And Slowey made his last start against the Mets, and he was coming off a couple of disappointing starts. He started off just fine. He had 3 perfect innings, and then the Mets and a lot of other things kind of caught up with him in the 4th inning.
Now stay away from the crooked number innings. And for Kevin Slowey, he's had 4 crooked numbers to where he's allowed 4 runs twice and 3 runs twice in a couple innings.
And Damon takes low, 1-1.
And they've come early. It's not like in the 7th or 8th inning. They've come early. And against the Braves, he gave up 4 runs in the 1st inning. 2 starts ago in the Phillies. Remember the 13-10 comeback win for the Twins, but he gave up 7 runs in the first 2 innings. And then you talked about the Mets start. Gave up 3 runs in the 4th inning.
1-1, and Damon takes outside, 2-1. Now, if it happens occasionally, you can try to find a silver lining, and you can say, well, hey, it's early. We're down 4 runs. We can come back. We've got 8-9 innings worth of at bat. But when it happens in succession, as it did on the road trip, it's got to wear on the lineup, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. You want to, if you're going to give up 1 or 2, but not the 3-4 runs.
Called strike, 2-2.
Well, Kevin Slowey making his 16th start. 59 strikeouts, only 17 walks for Kevin Slowey. He's allowed 13 home runs. 10 of those to right-handed hitters.
2-2, and Damon sends a fly ball down toward the right field corner. Long run, Kubel there, and he makes the catch. So much talk, as we remind you, the Twins baseball is brought to you in Sony High Definition. So much talk about this new lineup the Twins have. And how will Kadire do at third base? But just as important is the guy in right field, Jason Kubel, and how well he can play out there.
He did a good job of tracking that ball down. Damon hit that ball high enough to allow Kubel to catch up to it. That ball kind of hung up there a long time, and Kubel went a long way to make that first out catch.
Here's the Detroit designated hitter, Maglio Ordonez. And Jackson takes off, and Ordonez hooks one foul. Hit it a long way, but very foul.
A lot of these right-handed hitters, they're looking to pull early. So if you're going to go inside, you better make sure you get it in. And we saw Cabrera last night against Nick Blackburn on that first pitch pick up an RBI single because he did not go in far enough.
1 strike to Ordonez. Swing and a miss, 2 strikes.
To me, I mean, this is the way that I was brought up, that right-handed hitters like Ordonez and Cabrera, you're looking to pull early. So that's why you have to establish down and away. That breaking ball right there that Ordonez swung at tells me, he wants that ball middle in. Now he's a little different hitter with 2 strikes on him. Now he's going to try to protect the plate. He's going to cut down the swing. That's why that pitch fastball down and away or an off-speed breaking ball down and away is an important pitch for Kevin Slowey.
2 strikes to Ordonez.
Butera sitting inside. Get it in there. There you go. Good.
Now, it doesn't mean that Ordonez is not a good hitter with 2 strikes. He's just a different hitter.
Yeah, he just he's protecting the plate. This guy's a .312 career hitter. This guy can flat out hit. But early in the ball game, these guys get paid extra because they can hit the ball out of the ballpark. There's been 8 stolen base attempts against Kevin Slowey, and 5 have been successful. You want to make Austin Jackson just kind of come to a stop and then give him different looks. Kind of hold it a second and then a quick throw home with that slide step.
Fouled back.
To me, if Ricky Henderson's at first base, I know I'm just going to try to give my catcher a chance to throw him out by utilizing the slide step. I'm not going to pick him off of first base. Kevin Slowey's not going to pick off Jackson at first base. But what you try to do is give Drew Butera, who's done a good job behind the plate, he's thrown out 5 of 10 potential base stealers, an opportunity to make a good, strong throw.
Outside, 2-2. Was there more of an emphasis on holding runners in your second career with the Twins than back in the 70s? Had the game changed to where pitchers were more conscious of base runners the second time around?
I think the second time around there wasn't as many stolen bases because of the steroid era and starting in the steroid era than maybe in the 70s when I first came up. It was more of a running game. So yeah, there was more emphasis, I think, my first time around in a Twins uniform than my second time.
And the base stealers in the American League back then, what, Ron LaFleur of the Tigers and
Ricky Henderson.
Right. Two and 2 to Ordonez. Long hold and a step off.
See, even that's good sometimes. Make that base runner go out there, and if he's going to commit to go, maybe make him make a move first.
We've made comparisons before, Slowey to Baker. They're both fly ball pitchers, so you don't get many of these.
Oh, nice play.
Nice pickup by Cuddyer, and he starts a 5-4-3. So Cuddyer continues to play well with the leather at third, and he picked off a hard 2-hopper to start a double play. the sunshine, the baseball, the fresh air. And for the Menards batting order for the Minnesota Twins, let's go to the manager directly.
We have the Soul Patrol leading off. We have Span, Hudson, and Delman, and that was self-proclaimed Delman Young. The Soul Patrol will be the top three in the lineup today.
And the rest of the lineup, I'm not sure what you call the middle three guys. We'll leave it up to the viewer to come up with a nickname for Morneau, Kubel, and Kanayer, and then Tommy, Punto, and Butera.
Hopefully the guys that'll drive in the Soul Patrol. That's who that'll be. But and for only his second time at the major league level, Andy Oliver is making a major league start. In our Dodge Ram scouting report, only his second major league start. Was drafted once by the Twins back in 2006. Decided not to sign by the Twins. Attended Oklahoma State University. Let's take a look at the scouting report again. Brought to you by Dodge Ram. Drafted by the Twins out of Ohio, Vermillion, Ohio. And decided not to sign by the Twins. Twins' 17th round pick back in 2006.
Drafted and signed by the Tigers just 1 year ago. He was in the June 2009 draft, and now he's in the bigs. Span takes outside 3-1. And, of course, the Twins and everybody else getting their first look at Oliver. You'd expect at least Span, maybe some of the other Twins hitters, to try to go deep in the count here. And it's a 5-pitch walk, putting Span aboard. So going back to last night, 4 hits and a walk, and now a walk. He's reached in 6 straight plate appearances. Northland Ford defense for the Tigers. Damon in left, Jackson in center, Bosch in right, Inge, Worth, Ian, and Cabrera around the infield, and Gerald Laird back behind the plate.
Yeah, and Oliver's major league debut, it came against the Atlanta Braves in Atlanta, and he pitched very well. He pitched 6 innings, gave up only 5 hits, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. Did give up a home run and lost that ball game 3-1.
Here's Orlando Hudson. And a low pickoff throw to Cabrera. And the ball game, was it last night? We had an errant pickoff throw.
2 nights ago. Phil Koch kind of nonchalantly threw one in the dirt to Cabrera, and it got away from him. Twins will be looking at what type of move that Oliver has. A quick step right there, or the slide step.
Hudson's power, what he's provided in his first year with the Twins, has all come from the right side. 3 home runs as a right-handed batter.
He's hitting .292 as a right-handed hitter, .284 from the left side. So very consistent from both sides of the plate.
Another one on the outside corner, 0-2.
Andy Oliver, 22 years old, 6'3", about 210. He's replacing Rick Porcello in the starting rotation for the Tigers. Porcello's option down to AAA to try to regroup and find his slider and his sinker.
And Hudson flips it foul. You know, one of the remarkable things about this Tigers season, they have been on the Twins' heels almost all year long, briefly in first place. But they're breaking in so many young players, so many rookies. Oliver, one of 7 rookies making his debut this year. And so Jim Leyland so far has done one of his best managing jobs, helping make the Tigers a contender this year.
Yeah, they need to really try to find a way to improve their starting staff. That's kind of been their sore heel so far.
Tagged out, and a double play. Span almost stayed in the base path long enough for Hudson to beat the flip to first. But now the Twins have hit into a first-inning double play.
Well, as a runner right here, he watched Span. The ball's right in front of him. Now Guillen's going to go tag him, turn around. He's trying to run away, but Guillen tagging him out and then quickly throwing and getting Hudson at first base.
So the walk covered up for Oliver by a double play, and here comes Delman Young. The 3 and 4 hitters for the Twins, Young and Morneau, each with 50 runs batted in. Fastball away. Young last night hit 8th, but with Mauer out of the lineup today, he moves up to 3rd. One and one.
Delman's kind of earned that spot too. You know, Delman was, always in the 6, 7, 8 hole, but over the last 23 ball games, Delman's hitting .357. With 3 home runs, he's driven in 23 runs over the last 23 ball games.
2-1. 3-1. Now he has no future as a 3rd place hitter. That job's taken in Minnesota for a long time, but he would love to be able to do well here and maybe find another spot higher up in the order in the middle of the lineup. Certainly has been a run producer this year. Foul back to 3-2.
But Ron Gardenhire say, why, we're going to leave well enough alone. If he's, still driving in 50 runs in the lower part of the lineup. Joe Mauer gets a day off, and Delman Young getting an opportunity to hit 3rd.
Full count to Young. On the outside corner. He shaved the corner to avoid his 2nd walk of the inning. And each team sending just 3 men to the plate in the 1st.
Up their normal infield for most of the last month, but that could be getting cleared up pretty soon as shortstop J.J. Hardy today went to Beloit, Wisconsin to begin a rehab stint. He's going to play until Friday. He's going to play today, tomorrow, and Friday. There's a possibility he gets back into the Twins lineup on Saturday to face the Tampa Bay Rays. And as for any potential quagmire that Ron Gardenhire may face with his infield, he said, let's just go day to day. Michael Kadire playing 3rd, Nicky Punto playing so well, and Danny Valencia on the roster. So J.J. Hardy could return Saturday here at Target Field against Tampa Bay.
Thank you, Robbie. Here's Miguel Cabrera, and he skies one to right field. Kubel coming in. One away. The idea was that Hardy would hang here for a few days, then report to the Rochester team in AAA, and then just make the short trip from Rochester, New York to Toronto. But clearly the idea is sending him to Beloit, driving distance, in the hopes that he'll be able to make it back for this homestand. So one away in the 2nd, and here's Brennan Bosch. Big swing and a miss. Twins kind of sort of held Bosch in check. Just a couple of hits in the series, although his first hit, a double, drove in a couple of runs 2 nights ago.
Yeah, very nice swing, very well disciplined at the plate. A big kid at 6'6".
At times he's had a hard time, as Jackson has, laying off that high fastball, but a lot of veteran hitters have that problem.
Well, first time around, you know, the hitters try to get to know him, but another nice play by Kadire. That ball hit his glove and popped straight up. A little short hop right there. Kadire was able to make the play in the first inning off the bat of Ordonez to turn the double play. And another ball hit the other way very sharply. And this should be an infield base hit. You see the short hop right there. And it is an infield base hit for Brandon Bosch.
Second Detroit hit. Here's Carlos Guillen. Up and away, ball one. Coming into this game in his last 3 starts, Kevin Slow, he's pitched 12 1/3 innings, given up 5 home runs and 17 earned runs. So he's hoping to find something and pitch deep into the ball game. Here's a grounder to first. Morneau to the shortstop. Back to Morneau, another double play. In all his innings pitched this year, he'd only gotten 3 ground ball double plays, and he gets one in each of the first 2 innings here today. Area. It's located in the Arrowhead region of northeastern Minnesota, and it winds 57 miles from Grand Marais north and west to Lake Saganaga at the Canadian border. Justin Morneau to lead off the second for the Twins.
Well, the Twins saw a pretty good fastball from Andy Oliver in that first inning. He'll throw left-handers a good fastball, then that hard breaking ball. Like that. To get strike one.
Morneau, Kubel, and Kadire, lefty, lefty, righty, facing the left-hander Andy Oliver. You look at the Tiger rotation and how it's evolved. At the start of the year, candidates were expected to be certainly Verlander, but Porcello, who's been sent down. Nate Robertson, perhaps they dealt him when Dontrell Willis won a job. Now Dontrell Willis is gone.
Right.
So it's hardly been a real stable rotation.
Yeah, Rick Porcello, and then, you know, Galarraga that
right.
Started in last night's ball game. He started in the minor league, so it's been a big shakeup for the Tigers starting rotation, really, other than Verlander.
And the Twins obviously won't face him in a long pattern of facing the opponent aces. Series after series after series, the Twins catch a bit of a break in that Verlander pitched this Sunday, so not pitching in this series. 1-2 to Morneau. And another foul. Won't catch a break in the Tampa series. They'll get David Price in game 2 of that series this weekend. 1-2, Oliver to Morneau. And a called third strike.
Well, Bill Welke just definitely giving the corners here so far. Delman Young called third strike to end the first inning. And right there, a fastball away that Justin Morneau kind of had some words with a home plate umpire. Where was that pitch?
Box track says it was outside.
Yeah, I think Justin has something to question the umpire right there. That ball's outside.
Here's Jason Kubel. And he takes ball one. And now 2-0. Kubel would like to follow suit. He's got a bit of a curse. He's a very good left-handed hitter on a team that has left-handed hitters who do very well against left-handed pitching. There's a half swing and a strike. But, you know, Kubel's holding his own at the very least against lefties. He's hitting .231. But Span's hitting .287. Morneau's hitting .333. Mauer's hitting .273 against lefties. And so as Kubel's overall numbers have increased and improved over the last month or so, he's getting more and more opportunities to hit against lefties. 2-2 here. Oliver's struck out 2 men in a row. And Kubel hits it on a couple of hops to Guillen. 2 down.
Hey, Ron Coomer, I know you're down in that camera well. When you're facing a hitter, or, you know, you're a hitter and you're facing a guy like Oliver for the first time, you know, is it one time around or you see something on the bench?
Well, you're sure looking for something. But to me, Bert, the first thing that you're going to try to do is pick up his release point. What he does, he kind of crossfires just so for a lefty, he's going to hide the ball from you a little bit. And I think you saw Justin, you know, swing and miss at a couple pitches that he might want to have back. To me, when a guy's throwing as hard as he is, and he's been 92, 93, and he'll probably bump up from what the report says to 94, 95, you got to be prepared to hit the fastball. I'll be surprised if he's able to get his breaking ball over consistently. So you're going to look at the Twins hitters. I don't want to say cheating, but looking for the old number one here early in the game.
Well, we haven't really seen the changeup yet, Ron. Everything has been that good fastball, which he's established, and then the hard breaking ball.
Well, and then what Dick said, too, you definitely want to have a long at-bat or hit one in the gap like Michael Kadire just did.
Another extra base hit for the Twins. This one a 2-out double by Kadire.
Well, I think over the last 3 or 4 ball games, what we've seen is Michael Kadire really making great contact. Fastball, not a lot of movement, but pretty much right down the middle of the plate. And Kadire putting another good swing on a fastball and picking up a 2-out double, his 16th double of the year.
Well, you look at that pitch, too, guys. That pitch is belt high, and when a lefty is kind of slinging the ball, the tendency is for him to throw the ball out over the plate. Perfect swing by Michael Kadire to dump one in the right center.
Here's Jim Thome. So far in this series, Twins hitters have a dozen extra base hits. There have been just 2 home runs, and both of them off the bat of Jim Thome, and both of them going to the opposite field. One 1-0 to Thome. They work him inside off the plate again. 2-0.
Yeah, I mentioned last night, Twins have now hit 150 doubles here at Target Field, and the only other stadium that has produced more doubles is Fenway Park, and that's a doubles type hitting ballpark there. So a lot of extra base hits for the Twins. Now they have hit 68 home runs. 21 of those 68 have been here.
And Oliver hits the outside corner with a breaking pitch. 2-1.
Excuse me, 65 home runs the Twins have hit.
First base open, 2 outs, and Punto in the on-deck circle for the Twins. We'll see how aggressively they pitch Thome. Half swing, but he went. The ball rolls away from Laird, and that'll allow Kadire to move up to third. So now 2-2 to Thome with Kadire 90 feet away.
Well, the breaking ball right here, and Laird kind of boxed that up a little bit right there. He forgot to turn the glove around, the ball getting away. So it should be a pass ball on Laird. Going to give him a wild pitch.
Really?
He may have been crossed up the way that, you know, he tried to catch that ball. Maybe looking fastball, and he kind of went out to talk to Oliver about that. Yeah, Laird too good of a catcher to kind of catch a ball like that. He had to be crossed up.
And now 3-2. As dangerous as Tony is, we don't expect them to give him much to hit here on 3-2 with Punto in the on-deck circle. Three and two. A fastball away, and he lifted it foul.
That's one thing that I've seen Oliver try to do here is establish that fastball down and away. Ended up striking out Delman Young to end the first on a good fastball away. Justin Morneau taking that pitch that was outside, but it was down and away.
Another 3-2 to Jim Thome. He got him with a breaking ball, so they came after him, struck him out, and they stranded Cuddyer at third. No score after two. You can get involved in our broadcast this afternoon and let us know who you think will be the Arby's value player of the game. Text the word value followed by a space and the player's name to short code 234234. Voting spread out, but Cuddyer has a double, so he's leading.
Well, he also made a great defensive play in that first inning, turning into a double play off the bat of Ordonez.
Bottom third of the Tiger order, Brandon Inge leading things off, and he takes a strike on the outside corner. Inge, Laird, and Worth, bottom third of the Tiger order. They've gotten a couple of hits, but Slowey has gotten two ground ball double plays. And Slowey misses the inside corner, 1-1.
Well, you mentioned that Kevin Slowey's had only 3 double plays turned behind him in his first 15 starts, but you know there's a reason why, because of the location of some of those pitches. On Carlos Guillen right here, watch this play or pitch right here. Watch where the location is. It's down in the strike zone, and it's one thing I was talking about in the pregame. Again, when he gets that ball down, he will get some ground ball outs.
And Morneau scoops it up. Slowly at the bag, 1 away. Our Lincoln Mercury key stat, the Tigers doing well in day games. 22 wins under the sunlight. Don't know what that means other than the fact that Twins need to play well here today. I think we knew that beforehand. Here's Gerald Laird. As opposed to pitching in a night game or on a getaway day and a day game like this, did you enjoy pitching in?
I enjoyed, anytime I got that baseball.
No, I know, but I mean, did it make any difference to you?
No, not really. Not really. If anything, day games told me that, especially a 12-10 game, the other team really doesn't want to play that early. I really like those early games when the Gophers, those 10 or 11 o'clock games, because the other team, they were just waking up. I wanted to get through, put some zeros on the board early.
1-1 to Laird. Hit a home run here the other night, and he lifts one foul over the Twins dugout, 1-2.
Sometimes if you struggle at night, you say you don't like playing night games, and then if you have success during the day, I'd rather pitch during the day. It just runs in cycles. Carl Pavano mentioned that, earlier, that he didn't like pitching in day games, and guess what? His last 2 complete games, day games. So how do you know? It becomes more of a mental thing than a physical thing.
High hopper over the mound. Punto cuts across. Might have hit the corner of the bag, but he stayed with it, and he made the play.
Well, again, you keep the ball on the ground. This is a very good defensive ball club. 28 errors, even though they've made 7 errors over the last 11 ball games. This is a team that you keep the ball on the ground, they're going to make some good plays. Watch this with the second hop right there. Looked like it just skipped off the bag, but Punto right there to make a nice play.
Didn't hit the bag. What are the chances of it giving him a true hop?
Yeah, it looked like it hit right in front of the bag, but then looked like it made it be skipped right on the bag.
But I mean, the front of that base is angled, and the ball kept going straight. If it hit the bag, that was a miracle that he was able to make a play on it. 2 down, and here's Danny Worth. And a foul ball. Worth back in Minnesota. There's some Twins fans up in the Alexandria area who remember Danny Worth when he was playing for a team in Alexandria in the Northwoods League, and spent the summer of 2006 playing baseball in the Alexandria and living in the Alexandria area, and I can't think of a better existence. Alexandria is such a beautiful part of the state, and he got to play baseball there one summer. He's in the major leagues. He's enjoying this summer more than he enjoyed the 2006 summer, but boy, not a bad place to be in your mid-20s in the summertime playing baseball in Alexandria. 1-2.
The Tigers let Adam Everett go. Ended up releasing him, opening the door for Danny Worth to get some playing time at the major league level. And Slowey picks up his first strikeout.
And as he did in his last start, 9 outs from the first 9 batters.
outstanding. I'm a Mike Scioscia fan. I think of Joe Madden with the Rays coming in, Joe Torre. I mean, there's so many guys that are, to me, great managers. Communication is the biggest thing, I think, for a manager between not only the players but also the media, how they handle the media.
Well, I was going to ask you that. From the time when you played, or maybe when you first started playing, the qualifications to be a good manager are probably different, aren't they? The demands are different?
Well, because of more media people. Yeah, definitely. I mean, the media used to travel with the team back in the 70s.
Meaning the sports writers.
Sports writers and, the radio people and the TV people, little TV that we had back then.
One down, that'll bring up Butera. Punto, a strikeout victim.
Yeah, Oliver picking up his 4th strikeout of the ball game. Good high fastball right there. Punto could not lay off of.
I think in Jim Leland and Ron Gardenhire, they come from different eras. Leland a much more seasoned guy than Ron Gardenhire. But I think you'd have to both say they are players, managers. And I think that whatever that means, you have to be that, because you're dealing now with players who are making infinitely more money than the players or than the managers make now.
But it's still the game of baseball. I don't care if you're making what Joe Mauer is going to make for the next 8 years, or Drew Butera. You're all on the same page. You don't play the game, to me, for a paycheck. Yes, it's nice, but when a manager tells you to do something, you do it because he's the manager. He's the captain of the ship.
2-1 to Butera. Swing and a foul. That's why you had a situation earlier this year, and they said it had nothing to do with Freddie Gonzalez's dismissal. But you had an obvious clash between the manager, Gonzalez, and Hanley Ramirez, the marquee player.
Well, you had it in Tampa Bay the other day with B.J. Upton, but it was Evan Longoria that approached B.J. Upton about not hustling after a ball in center field. So it wasn't Joe Madden that needed to do it. It was, probably the captain of that ball club, Evan Longoria, saying, "Hey, I bust your butt a little bit more," and I'd like to see that.
And I guess that would be the ultimate dream for a manager, to have situations like that arise and have it handled player to player. It would give you one less headache, I would think, if the players were able to police themselves.
Well, I think we saw, and I saw it when Carlos Zambrano kind of flipped off in the dugout. It was, Derek Lee that kind of went right to him, because it was just a situation that, Lou Piniella was sitting there, yes, but it was Derek Lee that confronted him and say, "Hey, that's enough."
3-2 to Butera, trying to get aboard here with one out in the Twins' third. Butera with a little pop fly to short center. Long run for Jackson. Gets there. I don't know how many times that's been said this year. Long run for Jackson, and he gets there. 2 away. You can start the 4th of July weekend with a bang. You can be here at the ballpark if you have tickets already. Twins in Tampa Bay this Friday, and fireworks will be shot up into the sky outside Target Field here. Check on availability for tickets for the 4th of July weekend series against the Rays, or any of the remaining dates this year. Call 800-33-TWINS or go to twinsbaseball.com. And won't that be nice to have a fireworks show outside our new ballpark? Span taps it foul.
I'm looking forward to it.
And I think you and I are in agreement. We always thought it would have been a good idea to have one of those at the Metrodome, and we wouldn't have had that silly roof overhead anymore.
Well, good job by Andy Oliver. First time through the lineup. He had 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. He gave up 1 hit, the double to Kadire.
Squibber rolls off the mound to Guillen. Span retired. And Andy Oliver has a good 3rd inning. His first 1-2-3 inning.
Morneau deserves to be the starting first baseman at the All-Star game in Anaheim. His bat and his glove have done the talking, and now it's time for you to do the voting. Vote Justin Morneau at twinsbaseball.com. All-Star voting ends July 1st.
They call it a final push, but to do whatever you can to get Justin to Anaheim as the starting first baseman in the American League.
I think the voting ends tomorrow, does it not?
Tomorrow night, yeah. Here's Austin Jackson leading off the fourth for Detroit. No score. Tigers with a couple of hits. The Twins with one. That's to left center field. Hanging in the air for Delman Young, one away. You know what I've never understood about fireworks in Minnesota? It was about 5-6 years ago they passed a law that allowed fireworks that exploded on the ground where all the people are. And that was done for safety reasons. I don't understand that. Why would you think it's safer to have fireworks exploding on the ground where all the people are?
Well, I don't think they meant it, underneath somebody.
Well, no.
Kind of put them out and then let people just kind of watch the fireworks go off in front of you on the ground rather than in the sky.
Grand Casino story of the game so far.
Yeah, so far good for both starters, Slowey and Oliver.
Well, wouldn't it be safer to propel the explosion up into the air and have people admire it?
I did that one time when we lived in California. I lived in California, and it ended up on my neighbor's roof. We did some roof climbing very quickly.
2 strikes to Damon. And strike 3, 2 away.
And Slowey picks up his second strikeout. Ron Coomer. Slowey seems to be working up and down, up the ladder, all around so far.
He definitely has, and I know in our instructionals for all of us, we've talked about balance point and gathering yourself back over the rubber. To me, I see Kevin, and he has a tendency definitely, like I did as a hitter, to drift forward. To me, if you're going to throw and keep the ball down, I would think it's really important for him to get the ball out of his glove and get his arm up as quick as he can so he can do that right there. And that has worked, that angle that you talked about in the pregame show, working down. To me, when he gets his arm up quick and his arm catches up with his body, he hasn't left one pitch up.
Ron, I was the same way. I wanted to get that ball and go, and I was very explosive off that pitching rubber, but I always told myself when I could feel my arm kind of get ahead of my leading with my elbow, I told myself to show more pocket, meaning my back pocket. That kept me over the pitching rubber a little bit longer. Here's Kevin Slowey's delivery right here. Get that pocket turned and then allows your body to kind of all work together at once going toward home plate rather than your arm dragging at the last second if your body's too far out front. Couple things. Keep me balanced over the mound. Uh-oh. Attention. We all got somebody's attention.
Don't mind me, guys. It's okay.
Bert, what'd you do over there?
Attention. And it was
Dick,
silent.
are you okay up there with him?
I don't know.
No, did you hear the
Open
crowd?
up the back door here, will you?
The crowd was just silent. Everybody was paying attention.
2-1 for Ordonia.
But
I think
again,
that's the alarm system that would be used in the event of a tornado warning, but we don't even have a white cloud in the sky, much less a black one.
But going back to Kevin Slowey, it's just getting to that balance point and then allowing your arm to catch up to your body, and that creates that good downward plane. That's what Slowey's trying to do.
2-2.
And a good pitch to Ordonez right there. That ball off the plate inside.
Ordonez checking with home plate umpire Bill Welke about something. And
he wants to see the ball.
And the siren has gone off again. Some parts of this ballpark.
Somebody went through that exit door that said do not enter.
Two and two to Ordonez. Lace to left field. And a base hit. So Ordonez gets a base hit with 2 gone on the 4th.
Well, I don't know what Slowey is trying to do right there, but that ball just kind of floated in there. And Ordonez did not miss it. Take a look at this pitch right here. Just a fastball, and Ordonez jumped all over it. So the third hit for the Tigers. It comes with 2 outs here in the 4th inning off of Slowey.
And never a good idea to face this guy with a man on base. Cabrera, the most dangerous Tiger hitter.
Trying to get the ball down.
1 strike. Cabrera will go to the All-Star game, whether he's voted on or not, or voted in or not. He will be there. Just off the plate, 1-1.
Yeah, for Cabrera, it could be his first American League All-Star game that he would attend to. Went to 4 of them when he was with the Marlins.
He, in a lot of ways, I think, at this stage in his career, he reminds me a little bit of Jim Thome. People have forgotten already that Cabrera was a third baseman. And now he's one of the best first basemen in baseball. Jim Thome years ago was a third baseman and then, of course, had a great career at first. And Mark Teixeira within striking distance in the balloting. Tattooed to the gap. That's going to be trouble if it runs the gap. And Young catches it on the edge of the grass. Ordonez being sent in. Punto's arm's going to be stretched out here. He scores. Cabrera to third, and he's in. So Cabrera hits it almost all the way through the gap, but deep enough to score Ordonez from first.
Well, again, it's a pitch up right here, and Cabrera, a great hitter. He did not miss it. Take a look at the location of this pitch and right into the swing of Cabrera. And that ball just kept rolling. Delmon Young, it took a long time, of course, span to get to that ball because it was hit right in the gap. Ordonez scores, and Cabrera slides into third. It'll be a double, an RBI double for Cabrera. He picks up his 68th RBI of the year.
Here's Bosch. There's a pitch up and away. Bosch singled his last time up. So for the first time, the Tigers have 2 hits in an inning, and they've each come with 2 outs in the inning to score the first run of the game. That's doinked down the left field line, but it's twisting foul. Cabrera getting a double, going to third on the throw, and he has enjoyed hitting in this ballpark. And a lot of people have enjoyed hitting doubles here. Not so much home runs, but doubles.
Yeah, again, the second park in the American League that have the most doubles in.
1-1 to Brennan Bosch. And now 1-2. And Bosch reacting like he missed his pitch.
Yeah, Slowey starting to leave some pitches up.
One and two. And strike 3 ends the inning. Tigers put together a couple of 2-out hits to score the first run of the game against Kevin Slowey. Couple of hits for the Tigers. First run of the game in the top of the fourth. Now the Twins will hit on the bottom of the fourth, starting with Orlando Hudson.
Oh, Andy Oliver, this will be his 50th pitch of the ball game. He has struck out 4. He's walked 1. He's allowed only 1 hit over the first 3 innings.
And Hudson takes a strike. Hudson, Young, and Morneau here in the Twins' 4th inning. So far, pitchers duel here. You might expect the same tonight in Kansas City. Jake Peavy, who shoulder issue and all has been outstanding for the White Sox, going against Zach Greinke. See that Peavy isn't throwing bullpen sessions between starts. Here's a liner to center, and Hudson's aboard as the leadoff man in the 4th. Leadoff man is on, and if you missed out on the first Twins tradition wall here at Target Field, don't fret, a second wall and a second opportunity is available for you. Have your name or your family name etched permanently on the Target Plaza by participating in the Tradition Wall program. The first wall sold out last summer. Another chance this summer. Call 877-TWIN-WALL to put your name on the Twins Tradition Wall, or of course, check it out at twinsbaseball.com. Here's Delman Young. Up high, ball 1. Young called out on strikes. Oliver singed the outside corner with a fastball to wrap up the first inning. And now outside 2-0.
Yeah, that might have been the changeup right there. Looked like he tried to turn it over. Oliver called up from Double-A, where he had made 14 starts, 6 wins, 4 losses.
Closest parallel Twins fans might relate to, it would be Kyle Gibson, the #1 pick for the Twins last year, being called up in the middle of the following year. Gibson right now pitching at Double-A for the Twins. 2-0 to Delman Young. Lifted to right field. Bosch makes the catch. Hudson thinking about a tag, but won't advance. 1 away. Let's go down to Ron Cooper. Talk a little bit about hitting styles. Justin Morneau and Brennan Bosch.
Well, when you look at one guy who's an MVP, and if you're ever going to be compared, this would be a good guy to be compared to. You look at Justin's swing, and a little bit of head movement forward, but really stays balanced and stays centered. Bosch, the same thing. The one thing in watching Bosch today, he gets a little bit of front half lead, or his upper body kind of tilts forward, and that moves your head. He missed a pitch the last at bat, Dick, that you'd said, he'd like to have back. If he quiets down his head movement like Justin has done through the years like that, you end up with those results.
Jackson can't make the play. Hudson around third. He's going to score. And Morneau with an RBI double has tied it. A hooking rocket to the gap in right center field.
I tell you what, Orlando Hudson still had to kind of wait around second base, because this guy out in center field, Austin Jackson, has made some great catches so far in his rookie season. Justin hitting the heck out of this ball. Jackson, who has outstanding speed, goes back and almost catches up to this and gets over his head for an RBI double for Justin. Well, I've seen a lot of highlight reels already of Jackson making that type of catch. He can cover a lot of ground out there.
Here's Jason Kubel. Down and away, ball 1. So second time through the order, maybe some better swings for the Twins as they get their second look at Andy Oliver. Hudson with a sharp single to center, and Young with a deep fly ball, and now Morneau tying the game with a double.
Yeah, 23rd double of the year for Justin, and his 51st run driven in.
Kubel swings through the breaking ball. 1-1. Kubel bounced to second his first time up. think what we've seen here a number of times, Bert, in this series, good hitters like Cabrera and Morneau can hit good pitches and do some damage. That's why they're good hitters. Now, if Oliver's going to throw Morneau a fastball, he better keep it down and away. And Morneau just raked it to the gap in right center field. Kubel takes a breaking ball on the inside corner, and it's 2-2. Twins answer a Tiger run in the fourth with at least one of their own, trying to take their first lead of the afternoon. To the left field corner, Damon with a running catch on the track. So 2 away, and that'll bring up Michael Kadire.
That ball had a lot of slice on it right there, and Johnny Damon just kept going toward the warning track and caught up to it.
Although he doesn't have a whole lot to show for it, 3 hits in the series, Kadire's probably hit the ball harder than anybody in the Twins lineup, Denard Span included, in this series. He's hit some line drives deep to outfielders for outs. And as we wind down the month of June, it has not been a very powerful month for Michael. His last home run coming on the 2nd of June.
I think Ron Coomer talked about, sometimes when you're up at the plate and you're maybe a little bit drifting or something. Kadire right now, he just seems like he's waiting back nicely. He's really exploding toward the ball.
We saw a lot of his swings about 2 weeks ago, and further, where he's out on his front foot a lot, waving at breaking pitches. When you know he's going good, and we all know this, he can shoot that fastball to right center field. What we'll see now is if Oliver decides, well, now they're going to walk him. That makes a lot of sense. But if you're going to throw him and he's going to drift a little and he shoots it the other way, I was interested to see if they were going to come in against him. But now they get to face the Hall of Famer and Jim Thome.
Ron, not too many times they'll walk the guy ahead of it when Jim Thome's on deck. My goodness. Jim Thome in this series already had some big hits. Here a couple nights ago, Jim Thome took a home run and hit a home run and hit it the other way on Monday against Bonderman. Well, this is a triple right here against Jeremy Bonderman. And there's a home run against Bonderman here on Monday. Then in last night's ball game, Thome taking a pitch the other way again. His second home run of the series. And he's hit 63 career home runs against the Tigers. So they elected. The ball gets away from Laird, and both runners will advance.
Well, now we'll see how aggressively they pitch Thome with first base open here. We've noticed that Avila and even Laird earlier in the series, they have a hard time catching the ball back there.
Again, he must have been crossed up or something, because Gerald Laird, he's been catching a long time. That's twice I've seen him try to catch the ball with the, glove, pushing the glove down rather than turning the glove over.
I'll tell you, down here on the field, it's really bright too, and might be his first time of catching in this ballpark with the bright sunshine in center field. It wouldn't surprise me at all if the sight line for the catcher, and I've heard that from the umpire, that it's tough to see the ball at times here in center field.
Quick trip to the mound for Rick Knapp.
Yeah, pass ball will be charged to Gerald Laird.
All right, you guys pitched to Thome here?
Heck no. Not with him hitting 2 opposite field home runs in 2 days. I got to take my chances with Nicky.
Now, Kadire was at third base in the second inning. They elected when they fell behind 3-1 to pitch to Jim Thome. And it looks like they're going to elect to pitch to him here. Oliver ended up striking him out to end the second inning on a good slider.
2-0. Punto on deck, and Punto's been swinging the bat well, but this is Jim Thome, and Nick is Nick Punto.
I think they'll give him one more pitch right here. If he falls behind 3-0 here, then you probably elect to walk him.
Oof.
And Thome didn't want him to go 3-0.
Well, guys, to me, this is, putting a lot of trust in a guy who's this is second big league start, to face a guy like Thome instead of just walking him. Jimmy Leland putting a lot on this young guy here on the mound, and Believe me, if there's one guy I wouldn't question, it's Jim Leyland.
2-1. And now 2-2. Well, he struck him out with a breaking ball back in the second inning. We'll see what he gives him now on 2-2.
Boy, he had a slider to hit right there. That first pitch, you know, he swung through. That was a breaking ball that Jim told me probably would like to have back again. Then he goes with a good hard fastball, about 93.
I really think Jimmy's sitting on breaking ball too, being a little tardy in that last fastball.
Checked his swing, we think. And it's a full count. Punto, of course, on deck.
Yeah, they went back to another fastball at 93 miles an hour up in the strike zone. And that's where a veteran catcher, Gerald Laird, might have seen that. He said, you know, he's late on that. Maybe he's sitting slider. See if they throw here 3-2.
Got him with a high fastball. So the Twins get one, leave two in scoring position, and it's one apiece going to the fifth. Absolutely gorgeous afternoon for baseball. The rubber game of the series between the Tigers and the Twins. And first place in the Central Division at stake. And Carlos Guillen will lead off the fifth for Detroit, followed by Brandon Inge and Gerald Laird. Well, Slowey did a good job, I guess, in the fourth inning. You don't like giving up runs with 2 outs. But instead of letting things build, he gave up just the 1 RBI hit and the 1 run.
Yeah, again, stay away from the crooked number innings, and Slowey able to do that by striking out Brendan Bosch with a runner at second base last inning.
Guillen fouls it to the net, 1 strike. Guillen bounced into a double play in the second inning. Slowey got 11 outs from the first 11 batters. And gave up Ordonez's single, Cabrera's double for the first run of the game. 1-1. Twins will play the Tigers again on the next road trip right before the All-Star break. And then we'll face each other in one more series here and one more in Detroit before the end of the season. One and two. Got him. So Slowey's starting to pick up some strikeouts. He's gotten 4 strikeouts from the last 7 batters.
Well, Slowey going up the ladder right here, and Guillen just swinging through it.
1 down, that'll bring up Inge. Inge with a ground ball to Morneau, his first time up. Right on the outside corner.
See, that's the pitch that I like right there from Kevin Slowey. Get ahead with a good fastball away. Good extension on that pitch.
And breaking pitch, missing up and in, 1-1. Two and one. Two and two. Slowly making his only start of this homestand in the Tampa Bay series coming up. Pavano, Baker, Lariano, and Blackburn going against Jeff Neiman, David Price, Wade Davis, and James Shield. Matt Garza won't pitch for the Rays, or excuse me, for the Rays in that 4-game series.
Just missed with a pitch right here. Bill Welke behind the plate to Butera. That's a good pitch.
Full count. Half swing. Did he go? No, and it's a walk. One out walk, putting Inge aboard.
Yeah, first walk of the ball game for Slowey, and it looked like Inge went too far, trying to just. Nah, he held up.
AT&T trivia. Perfect afternoon. Which Twins pitcher has the most all-time wins in day games? Boy, wow. To center, span, backpedaling. Well, it's got to be Jim Cott, doesn't it? I mean, back in those days in the 60s, every other game was a day game. Now you really don't have that many day games. Not as many as we used to. But well, I would guess Jim Cott.
Yeah, that's who I would think.
2 down here in the 5th, and that'll bring up Danny Worth. Worth struck out his first time up.
Here, maybe Jim Perry.
Jim's Twins career briefer than Jim Cott's. You know, I was talking with somebody, Jim Price of Detroit.
He's not somebody. Come on. It's Jim Price, former catcher for the Tigers.
We've talked about this before. 1-0 to Worth. Check swing. I think he went. Yep. Just think how lucky we were, meaning Minnesotans, to have the team that came here in 1961. It wasn't an expansion team by any means. That was left in Washington, D.C. But my goodness, we had Harmon Killebrew, a Rookie of the Year, and Bob Allison, Jim Cott, Camilo Pascual leading the league in strikeouts. 2-1. And we certainly would never want this to happen, but imagine if that team had stayed in Washington, D.C. They might have broken through and preserved the franchise there with all the talent that they ended up bringing to Minnesota. Snap bat, a little pop-up, soft line drive, if you will. Hudson with the catch, and the inning ends. Good 5th inning for Slowey, just 1 run allowed. And you're watching Twins baseball on Fox Sports North.
made the trip all the way from Hibbing, their first time to Target Field. It's a Dutch lady married a German man. Almost 64 years of marriage for these two. How about that, Bert? And they're very happy here at Target Field. They've got 4 kids, 12 grandkids, 6 great-grandkids. And they bought Ruben a hat here at Target Field to make his experience.
Hey, Robbie, tell her I circled her as an Oli-Boli.
You got circled as an Oli-Boli, young lady.
She'll know what that is.
I got to go over and explain it.
It's a Dutch pastry.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Well, it's encouraging for me to know that Dutch-German unions can last a long time, and we're only in our, 12th, 13th year up here. And
it's not going to last that long.
It's not going to last 63 years. Just another 50. If I can put up with you for another 50, you ought to be able to put up with me.
No way. No way.
2-1 to Punto, leading off the Twins' 5th. It'll be a very tough play. And Worth is able to stop the ball, and that's it. Punto's aboard with a leadoff infield hit.
Yeah, even if Worth had been able to field that ball and make the Derek Jeter type throw across the diamond, Punto would have beat it out. That ball was hit in the right spot. To the left of Inge, Worth has to go deep short, has no play. So Punto picks up his first hit, and for the Twins, their 4th.
Might revert to National League style ball here again. We'll see what the number 9 hitter does after the leadoff hit. See if Butera is asked to bunt. Butera with a fly ball to center his first time up.
Butera has one sacrifice on the year, and there's a bunt right there. A good bunt.
Safe. The throw pulled Guillen off the bag, and Butera's aboard. 2 nights ago, it was the Twins' inability to get outs on bunts that was a key part of the game. Now the Twins will try to take advantage of it.
Butera should get a sacrifice right here. Watch Guillen where he's playing. It takes him a little while to get over there, but the pitcher, Oliver, just has to make a good throw, and it was a bad throw. It kind of pulled Guillen off the bag, and Butera safe. So he'll get a sacrifice bunt, and an error should be charged to Oliver, the pitcher. And it is.
Yep. So now, first and second, nobody out, and Jim Leyland to the mound. As Jim Leyland says, Denard Span hits the Tigers like he's in our meetings. And a tough situation here with an infield hit, the misplayed bunt, and now first and second, and Span at the plate.
Denard Span coming into this ball game, a career .403 hitter against the Tigers, and that includes 4 career 4-hit games and 2 5-hit games. So he's had a lot of his best games at the major league level against the Tigers.
Leading the league with 7 triples, and with the 3 last night, 5 of them have come against Detroit this year. 4 here and 1 at Comerica Park. Corner infielders playing up, looking for another bunt. And it's jabbed foul, 1 strike.
And that's the key right there. He jabbed at it right there. You want to bunt that ball toward Inge at third base. Make him come in and field it. A pitch away, and right there you see him kind of jab at that ball. Let the ball come to you rather than you go get it.
1 strike to Span. Twins left a couple of runners at second and third last inning. Span trying to get them there in the 5th.
Well, Span has 3 sacrifices on the year. Showing bunt early.
Nobody at third base, so even though the bunt traveled about 18 inches, Inge coming in from third wasn't in position to take a throw.
Yeah, Laird, he jumped on that ball right there, but then he looked down at third. But Inge, he's playing in on the grass, and you have to kind of protect if that ball is bunted to you. So he backpedals, but nobody at third, so he does get the out at first. So a sacrifice bunt right there. It's a short one, but it gets the job done by Denard Span.
Span backing up the bunt. It was rolling back toward home plate. So here's Hudson now. And Tigers playing the infield back up the middle. Fly ball to center. Jackson going back. Runners setting up for a tag. And there they go. Butera doesn't advance, just drawing a throw to the shortstop. And Hudson sacrifice fly puts the Twins in front.
Hudson picking up his 19th RBI of the year. As the sacrifice bunts work in the air, allows the Twins to take a 2-1 lead.
So Hudson quite content to get a pitch up, lofting it to the outfield to drive in the go-ahead run. And now here's Delman Young. Young called out on strikes in the first, getting a fly ball to right in the fourth. To center. Butera around third. He's coming in. Jackson's throw to the plate. Not in time. Now Young to second base. And he's out. But the run scores. Delman Young with an RBI single. Scoring Drew Butera. The Twins get a couple in the fifth.
.10 should be warm and breezy. We're on air at 6:30.
Well, thank you, Mark.
Another ugly day. Jeez.
3-1 Twins in front. They hope to win this series 2-1, and then a tough Tampa Bay team coming in for 4 games. The Twins go on the road. They play 3 in Toronto, 3 in Detroit, then the All-Star break. And now Kevin Slowey pitching with his first lead. Pitching to Austin Jackson to start the 6th inning. Strike one.
Good pitch right there. Again, down and away for Kevin Slowey. This is the area that Kevin Slowey wants to improve on here from here on out. Get 6 innings in or more. Been only able to do it 5 times in his 15 starts.
Now, how many times have we talked in the first half of Slowey where he's just missing his spots by a little bit? He seems to be hitting those spots here today.
Yeah, again, everything is out front. Work out front. Release that wrist to where that ball is on top of your wrist rather than underneath it.
69 pitches, 48 strikes. He's pitched ahead of hitters, given up just 4 hits and 1 run so far. Butera to the mound.
Slowey making his 16th start of the year, his 70th major league start. He has 33 wins, only 20 losses in his career. And again, against the Tigers, he's 4-0 in 6 previous starts. Beat the Tigers here back on May 5th. Twins ended up winning that ball game 5-4.
Ooh, just missed the inside corner. 1-2 to Jackson.
Well, first two pitches, outer half of the plate, and then he goes inside. Good pitch. Going back in again.
And missed again. Slow, he just said he's been hitting his spots. He just missed getting a called third strike on back-to-back pitches. 2-2 to Austin Jackson. High and fairly deep to center, but Span has it within range. One away.
That's a good pitch right there. That was a breaking ball. He took a little off, so Jackson got underneath it and hit that second or the fly ball to center.
To answer our AT&T trivia question, if it's not Jim Todd, I'd be stunned because of how long he pitched for the Twins, when he pitched for the Twins. 101 wins in the daytime.
Kitty, 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 kitty.
And strike one to Johnny Damon. Now the real question is, who won the most daytime games for the Chicago Cubs?
Ferguson Jenkins.
That's all he played in the home schedule up until about 20 years ago with day games. 1-1. 75 pitches, 51 strikes. I'd be curious whether there's any move, because it is so pleasant here today. I mean, it is absolutely perfect. Whether there's any urge to schedule more day games in this ballpark. Not that the evenings are unpleasant. This ballpark shows up so well at night. My goodness, you just couldn't ask for a more perfect afternoon than what we have here today.
They'll continue to do it like getaway days.
Sure.
Allows the Detroit Tigers to get home, or they'll have an off day tomorrow a little bit earlier than normal if they played a night game.
Of course, for TV purposes, most teams like to schedule night games rather than day games. We're happy that the Twins and the people at Fox Sports North decided to pick this game up during the daytime. It wasn't on the original schedule, but obviously an important game for both teams. 2-2 to Damon. Great catch by Punto, diving to his right for out number 2.
Boy, he read that so nice. Nick Punto's like a cat out there. Good concentration as that ball comes toward home plate. And Johnny Damon trying to take that ball the other way, but Punto reacting quickly, diving for the ball and getting it before he could hit any grass. So a nice defensive play again by Nick Punto.
Here's Ordonez with 2 away. And a foul pop. You know, the Twins want J.J. Hardy back. He's an important part of the lineup. The fact of the matter is, Nick Punto has played so well at short, he's at the least minimized the absence of Hardy. They moved him off of third, put him in short, and he's played superbly over there and hit enough to warrant staying in the lineup.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see when J.J. Hardy is able to come back, what the Twins will do with their offense and defense.
1-1 to Ordonez. He got a 2-out single in the 4th. Cabrera followed with a double, and that got the Tigers on the board. Knocked down by Slowey. He recovers and throws him out.
That got his shin right there.
And he comes off with a little bit of a limp, but 6 very good innings in the books.
Well, came with a sacrifice bunt by Drew Butera, and the throw high to Oliver over to Guillen covering the bag, and he's safe. And that opened up the door for the Twins to score a couple runs, one earned run against Oliver in the bottom of the 5th inning.
And another sacrifice followed by Span. That was important with the 2 runs that were to follow. Yep. Frost brewed Coors Light freeze can. Here's Justin Morneau. Deep to right field. And gone.
Wow. Home run number 16 for Justin Morneau, and he jumped all over this first breaking ball, and Oliver hung it.
So it's a 4-1 Twins lead, and Jason Kubel at the plate. Fouled away.
Well, this is a hanger right there, and a great extension by Justin. You can see he knew he got it all.
Inside to Kubel, 1-1. That one looked like it cleared the seating area, ended up out on the plaza. Swing and a miss. Kubel tried to deposit one out there as well. 1 and 2 for Morneau. Home run number 16. Second RBI of the game, taking over the team lead now with 52.
And they measure that home run at 441 feet.
That's going to carry out near the warning track. The wind taking it to over the glove of Damon. And Kubel has a double. Well, the ball to left field is carrying very well. That ball looked like a medium deep fly ball, and it kept on carrying.
Yeah, I think that's what we've seen here, Dick, over the last 3 or 4 ball games played here at Target Field, where that ball in left field, it's a high fly ball. Damon thought he was under it, but he kept drifting back, and finally, you know, he lost track of it, and the ball ended up carrying over his head. That might be the channel here at Target Field that we see sometimes, like in Texas, the channel out in right center.
I'll tell you what, if that's the case, Joe Mauer is going to be beaming from ear to ear, because that's the direction he's hit so many of them here, and they've kind of died for him out on the warning track. But if, in fact, in the summer months, it's going to start carrying, Mauer's going to be the happiest guy in the Twins clubhouse.
Yeah, more at that Budweiser sign over the 377 mark.
Right. Well, here's Kadire. That's to left field.
They're going to run on him.
Yeah. And now they are going to send him after holding him up, and he'll score. Well, Kubel rounded third. Scotty Elger stopped him since there were no outs, and then Damon overran the ball, and Kubel ends up scoring anyway.
Yeah, Damon will be charged with an error. Kadire will not be credited with an RBI because Scotty Elger held him up. But right here, I would think that, you know, on Johnny Damon right here, watch Kubel round the bag. He's held up right there, but then Scotty's saying go, go, go when you watch Damon kind of mess that ball up a little bit.
Well, the Twins teeing off on Andy Oliver here in the 6th inning. And here's Tomey, who has struck out twice against him, each time on breaking balls. It's foul, 1 strike. So a run on the 4th, 2 unearned runs in the 5th, and a couple of early runs here in the 6th. Casey Fiend warming up in the Tiger pen, just stretching out at this point. This will be the 88th pitch for Oliver. And 2 strikes. When we got a shot of Justin Morneau in the dugout after the home run, you may have seen Rick Anderson on the phone, remembering that Kevin Slowey took a pretty hard shot against the leg. The Twins have, I think, Brian Dunsing warming up in the shadows of their bullpen. Around the hands with a fastball, 1-2.
Yeah, ball looked like it hit off the shin area of Kevin Slowey.
And it is Dunsing warming up.
Let's take a look at the last at bat by Magler Ordonez, right back up the middle, and might have got the right ankle area. Talking to Rick McWayne.
1-2. It's easy for me to say, but as long as it hits Slowey in the legs, that's better than what happened a few years ago when Juan Uribe smoked him in the wrist. That was the beginning of a wrist problem that lingered into last year and ended up abbreviating his season last year. 2-2 to Tomey. And now 3-2. Oliver done a nice job being in control of the game until the Tiger defense let him down a little bit. Actually, it was his error, his throwing error, that kind of opened the door in the fifth, and 3 straight hits to start the sixth. Runner goes. Tomey strikes out. Throw to second in time to get Kadair. So Oliver gets 2 outs on 1 pitch. And Tomey strikes out for the 3rd time in the game.
Oliver picking up his 6th strikeout. And half of those, Jim Tomey. And then Terrell Laird, outstanding arm behind the plate as Kadair takes off. A 1-hop throw, but caught right there by Worth. And Kadair, strike him out, throw him out.
Nick Punto with an infield hit to start the 5th inning. And the base is empty. He takes up high ball 1. Breaking ball over, 1-1. This is the only day game in the American League. We mentioned the White Sox and Royals will play tonight in Kansas City. Peavy against Greinke. Just to right center field. And Jackson's there to make the catch. The inning starts with a Justin Morneau home run. He's got a couple of extra base hits in the game. And the Twins have a 4-run lead.
Casino. The best stories start here. by Lincoln Mercury. Visit your local Lincoln Mercury dealer or go to experiencelm.com. And by AT&T. Find out what's possible with the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T. Rethink possible.
Twins in front by 4. Time for the Quest high-speed pitch, brought to you by Quest High-Speed Internet.
Oh, Andy Oliver clocked as high as 95. Kevin Slowey, his night is done, or day is done, clocked as high as 91. As Brian Dunsing coming into the 7th inning. He worked a shutout inning in last night's ball game, the 8th inning, a 1-2-3 inning. Dunsing outstanding numbers, making his 32nd relief appearance. Good change up right there to Cabrera.
Cabrera, Bosch, and Guillen to face Dunsing here in the 7th.
Yeah, Dunsing threw 18 pitches in the 8th inning, 13 for strikes, and a couple strikeouts.
Still 2 strikes. Cabrera doubled in Ordonez with a rifle shot to the gap in left center field. Bouncer to Hudson. Over to Morneau, 1 away. Here's the Mountain Dew game summary with the Twins up by 4.
On the 4th inning, there's Justin Morneau with that RBI double. That scored Orlando Hudson. And then Delman Young picking up an RBI. That in the 5th inning. And then the 6th inning. First hitter of the inning, first pitch, Justin Morneau hitting his 16th home run.
Here's Bosch taking strike 1. Bosch with a pair of singles and a double so far in the series. He's not homered yet. He came into this series having homered in 7 straight series. 2 strikes.
Dunsing faced Bosch last night, ended up striking him out in the 8th inning on a good breaking ball. Ahead in the count here, 0-2. Gutierrez sitting inside.
Ouch.
What a great sound.
Morneau with the catch.
That's a jam again in my scorebook.
Such an awful, nauseating sound.
Oh. Sounded a lot like you probably cutting firewood for the winter.
Just think all the man hours that went into making that bat a major league bat, and it's ruined because of that pitch and that terrible, terrible sound.
That great pitch.
Carlos Guillen 0 for 2. And strike 1. Guillen bounced into a double play in the 2nd. Slowly struck him out in the 5th. 1-1. And back to Dunsing. And a pain-free 1-2-3 7th inning, except for Bosch's knuckles.
on Toyota's full lineup of dependable vehicles. And by Quest high-speed internet. Get blazing fast speeds that won't burn up your wallet. Twins trying to finish off this series with a win. And they're leading 5-1 as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. For the Tigers, it's been a very rugged road trip. They had 3 games in New York against the Mets, 3 games in Atlanta, and now 3 games here. Casey Fiend comes out of the Tiger bullpen. He was just called up yesterday to take Joel Zamaya's spot on the roster.
Yeah, Fiend, those are his numbers from last year when he appeared in 9 ball games, all in relief. Fiend actually went to spring training with the Detroit Tigers, claimed off waivers. They tried to send him down, and then he was picked up by the Boston Red Sox. And they tried to send him down. Then he was claimed off waivers by the Toronto Blue Jays, and then the Blue Jays released him. And then the Tigers re-signed him in the middle of March. Started the season in AAA, getting the call up just a couple days ago when Joel Zamaya was put on a disabled list.
Drew Butera leading off the 7th. I think the record for something like that, whatever you would call all of that, was J.D. Durbin. Remember a few years ago when the Twins tried to send Durbin down, and in a span of about 4 weeks, I think 5 different teams had him for 72 hours or so. It seemed like that. And ended up with the Phillies for a while. 1-1 to Butera, and now 1-2.
They said in spring training when he was claimed off waivers by Boston, his bag was not even unpacked when they tried to send him down, and then he had to go to the other coast, or up the coast from Fort Myers, Florida, up to Dunedin, where the Toronto Blue Jays made spring training. So at least he stayed in Florida, with the Tigers training in Florida.
Inside, 2-2. I don't know why that triggered the thought, but Booth Bonser given his release by the Red Sox and is now a free agent and can sign with anybody. Apparently, his days as a Twin, however, are behind him. Tara cranks one foul. It'll be Butera, Span, and Hudson here in the Twins 7th.
Well, Andy Oliver worked the first 6 innings. He gave up 8 hits, 5 runs, only 2 earned runs with a walk and 6 strikeouts through 96 pitches.
Butera got a pitch up and fouled it to the screen.
Casey Fiend, 26 years old, signed by the Tigers back in 2006.
It probably won't be Fiend, but the Tigers need to find somebody to do what Joel Zamaya had been doing such a great job of, and that is setting up Jose Valverde. Here's a little fly ball to left. Damon comes in. 1 away. Baseball's biggest stars go head-to-head. One great night as Fox brings you every thrilling moment of the 2010 Major League Baseball All-Star Game. Coverage begins Tuesday the 13th live from Anaheim at 8 p.m. Eastern. That would be 7 o'clock Central. Only on Fox. One down, and here's Span. You know, the bridge for the Tigers just got a little bit longer because of Zamaya's season-ending injury here the other night. Valverde will go to the All-Star game as a closer for Detroit. One would think he's maybe the best closer in the league right now. But the 7th and 8th inning, for a while at least, it's going to be interesting to see how the Tigers navigate through that. 2 Hopper to Cabrera. Fiend covers 2 away. And that'll bring up Orlando Hudson.
Well, the bullpen has definitely been the strong point for the Detroit Tigers. Is the starting pitching that has put a lot of pressure on the bullpen. Starting pitching for the Tigers coming into today's play combined 12th highest ERA in the American League. Twins are 9th, but the Twins have the best ERA, lowest ERA of any team in the American League. And the Tigers are 4th lowest. Matt Guerrero looks like he might get the 8th inning.
And I'm still amazed, as rugged as the starting pitching was on the road trip, the Twins got through that stage. We'll speak of that rough stage in the past tense.
without the bullpen either injured or exhausted. And Dunsing deserves some credit for that. Jeff Manship, in one game in particular, had to kind of take the ball and
4 1/3 innings in that Philly game.
But when you think about it, you had in that Philly series back-to-back starts where the starter was knocked out in the second inning, and yet the bullpen survived an awful road trip because of what the starting pitchers did.
I think you have to credit Carl Pavano that went out on that last day in Philly and threw that complete game victory over Rory Halladay. If he had gone out and did the same thing, my goodness, that would have really destroyed that bullpen.
2-1 to Hudson, and a little bouncer to second. And Fiend retires Hudson. The Twins go down quickly in the 7th. You're watching Twins baseball and two of the best first basemen in the game.
And I know that Justin Morneau is a true all-star. Send Justin to Anaheim as the starting first baseman by voting at twinsbaseball.com. You can vote up to 25 times, and voting ends Thursday night.
And if you do your part and get Justin into the All-Star game as a starting first baseman, it'll be the first time since 1967 that the Twins have had two starters in the All-Star game. That's not counting the pitchers. Here's Inge with a drive to left center. And Young with a snow cone catch on the edge of the track.
Yeah, snow cone, anybody?
A well-hit ball, but the first out of the 8th inning off Matt Guerrero.
Well, Delman going back, and again, that ball kind of, I think, jumped on him at the last second, able to keep that ball in his glove. Reaching up, and the ball just sticking on the top side of that glove for the first out. And Matt Guerrero, who worked here a couple nights ago, a couple innings, he did give up a home run to Gerald Laird, who is now the hitter at the plate, making his 36th relief appearance.
Laird drops down a foul bunt.
The home run that Guerrero gave up to Laird, only his second home run he's allowed this year. The other one to Alex Rodriguez, that grand slam he gave up in New York. But Matt has done a great job as the setup guy, the 8th inning guy, for whether it be Joe Nathan and now John Roush.
And again, we talk about what the Tigers are going to do. The equivalent, although they're different type of pitchers, the equivalent for the Twins would be losing Matt Guerrero for the season. And imagine, as valuable as he's been over the years, what a huge hole that would create in the Twins bullpen. To the right center field gap. Span gets the first hop. Laird goes to second with a double. So Laird with an extra base hit with one gone in the 8th, and here's Danny Wirth.
Yeah, again, he hit a home run here a couple nights ago against Matt Guerrero on a fastball. This one a breaking ball, just hitting the right spot. Stan couldn't catch up to it. Laird a one-out double, his 6th double of the year. Tigers get their 5th hit of the ball game. Kevin Slowey worked the first 6 innings, 4 hits allowed in 6 innings, 1 run. Dunsing a 1-2-3-7.
Santiago hitting in Wirth's spot. Tigers still very much in the game. Twins have 5 outs to get. Tigers only down by 4. And so Jim Leland going to his bench and bringing off the veteran Santiago, who lines the first pitch to left field. Laird will go to third. And the Tigers making some noise. The bottom of the lineup creating a threat here in the 8th inning. That'll bring up Austin Jackson. And Rick Anderson on the mound. Dunsing breezed through the 7th. And rarely now do teams let one pitcher finish out a ball game in that situation, because if the Twins, say, had let Dunsing finish out the ball game, then that would have burned him up for tomorrow's game and probably the next game. And most teams do what the Twins have done here. They try to go inning by inning at the end and keep Dunsing available for the game tomorrow night. Check swing, ball 1.
That's why it's so important if you get your starters to go 7 innings. That way you don't have to use 3 guys out of that bullpen.
Right.
Because, you know, night after night, hey, all 3 relievers aren't going to have their best stuff. They're going to get hit around from time to time.
Swing and a foul.
You know, Slowey leaving the game because of that line drive that was hit off his right ankle.
So 1-1 to Jackson.
Last night was a great example. Nick Blackburn went 7. Dunsing pitched a shutout, 8th inning, and then Maharis ended it with a shutout 9th inning. So you only needed 2 relievers. You start getting into where you need 3 or 4 relievers every day. That puts a lot of pressure on these guys out in the bullpen.
1-1 to Jackson. 2-1. I guess it stands to reason. The more pitchers you run out there, the better chance you have of somebody really having a bad night. Foutani last night had a bad night. Swing and a foul, 2-2.
Let's see if he can get a strikeout right here. He needs a strikeout. Jackson has struck out 77 times so far this year. The most of any Tiger.
And teams for a while at least were getting him to strike out by going up the ladder with that high fastball across the letters. Two and 2. And another foul.
Well, another great crowd. 40,671.
Paid attendance figures now in excess of 40,000 because the Twins have sold some standing room tickets that they did not sell in the first couple of homestands. 2-2 to Jackson. There's a high fastball missing. We should explain we had a alarm go off here in the ballpark for the first time back in the 3rd inning, 4th inning, and we're told one of the sprinklers went off. Just one. There was never a fire here or anything like that. 3-2 to Austin Jackson. And down the line foul. So there was never anybody in any jeopardy at all. It's just one of the sprinkler heads had some excessive heat from one of the kitchens, and the sprinkler head went off, and when that happens, the alarm goes off. First out came quickly on the first pitch. Guerrero threw. Now the Tigers starting to make some noise in the 8th. And another foul.
Butera's going to go out and walk this ball out to Matt Guerrero, see what they want to throw right here.
Jackson has struck out 7 times. He has only walked 18 times. So he's not a very easy guy to put aboard with a free pass. And Guerrero doesn't issue many walks, but if he should reach by any means, Damon would come to the plate representing the tying run. Full count again. Got him looking. And Jackson reverses field and heads back to the dugout.
Oh, great pitch right there by Matt Guerrero. And that'll bring out manager Ron Gardenhire. But Matt going to that little cutter on the inner half of the plate. And that freezes Jackson for strike 3. So the little trip that Butera had with Guerrero paid off.
The mission to bring quality baseball and softball instruction to the kids in Twins territory. For all the dates and locations, log on today to twinsbaseball.com and register for the Twins training camp near you. 2 on, 2 out, and here's Damon facing Maharis.
Yeah, we mentioned before Maharis worked in last night's ball game, a 1-2-3 ninth inning in the 11-4 win over the Tigers, making his 3rd appearance since being reactivated, coming off the family emergency list. 11 pitches last night for Maharis in a 1-2-3 ninth inning, 6 for strikes.
First pitch to Damon, a fastball in the inside corner. Damon is 0 for 3. Had a hit taken away. A great catch by Nick Punto, diving into the hole to snag his line drive. This has only happened to Damon about 1,000 times, where a team has brought in a left-hander to face him. This year he's hitting left-handers much better than right-handers.
He's a good hitter because he uses the whole field. You mentioned, Punto making that great play. He'll take that pitch if it's outer half and just hit it to left field. Damon, a career 290 hitter in his long career.
High fastball, 1-2.
Got a very steady career. Came up with the Royals back in 1995. This is his 16th major league season.
And Damon with a foul that hit his foot. And every time I look at Damon, he's been a great player. There was a poll taken. He's one of the friendliest players in the game. But I keep looking at him, and I think, what would have happened to Damon? What would have happened to the Royals if they had kept him? We've always said the Royals needed a franchise player, and the fact of the matter is they had one, a durable player too, a guy who's been able to last a long, long time. And they didn't keep him. He's bopped around a lot of different teams, but he could have been the very guy the Royals have been looking for.
I agree. Almost 2,500 hits in his career. He's been on 2 World Championship ball clubs, the Red Sox in 2004 and the Yankees last year.
2-2 to Damon. And a high pop-up down the right field line. 3 Twins will give chase. And Hudson, did he make the catch? He made the catch to end the inning. What a play by Orlando Hudson.
I see a pop fly go to right field. I'm always running out to an angle so I can kind of watch him and watch the wall. And I say, "You good, you good." And then when I see him getting a few feet from the wall, because he can't really tell, because he's looking up going for the ball. So that's why I say, "Wall, wall, wall, wall." He knows to break it down then. So we do a lot of communication. And like when I'm going back for the shallow pop fly, I'm kind of watching Morneau in foul territory, letting with the ball coming back off. If I see him drifting back, then I go ahead and call him off.
Well, he had just enough room to end the inning on Damon's foul pop.
Boy, you know what? And that ball looked like it was actually in the stands right here. And the fan just right there, that guy thought about it, but then kind of pulled away. And Hudson able to keep that ball in his glove. So a great catch right there by Orlando Hudson to end the top of the 8th inning.
Instead of fan interference, fan assistance. Bouncer to the left side. Inge. Over to Cabrera. Young's retired, one away. Let's find Robbie and Smikowski.
Guys, we got a great post-game show, Quest Twins Live, featuring the Toyota post-game wrap. Among the topics to be broken down by Anthony and Ron. Slowing down Detroit, Kevin Slowey. A very nice bounce-back performance. 6 innings pitched, surrendering just the 1 run. Our instructional today is the 3-6-3 double play, as Justin Morneau turned one of those with Nick Punto. Plus, will be your reaction from both clubhouses of the Tigers and the Minnesota Twins on Quest Twins Live. Dick, how about that?
Pretty nice. Thank you, sir. Justin Morneau with a couple of extra base hits, each driving in a run in his last 2 plate appearances. Outside, ball 1. Morneau connecting in one of the longest home runs hit here. 441, did you say it was measured at?
441, yes.
And outside again, 2-0. We had a 9-game homestand here in the last homestand for the Twins, and the Twins did not get a home run from Bauer, Morneau, Kadair, or Tony. And now the ball maybe jumping a little bit. Tomey's hit 2 to the opposite field. Warno's clubbed 1. And another foul. Two and 2 to Morneau with 1 gone in the Twins' 8th. Full count with Kubel on deck.
That slider just missing down and away. Casey Bean in his 2nd inning of relief.
On the ground. Ian for out number 2. And our Coors Light Cold Hard Blast today provided by Justin Morneau.
Came on the first pitch in the bottom of the 6th inning off of starter Andy Oliver. Home run number 16 on the year for Justin Morneau.
And now here's Jason Kubel. Doubled his last time up. The most encouraging thing that might have happened for Twins hitters as they get ready for the Tampa Bay series was watching Kubel's fly ball carry, and carry over Damon's head in left field. It looked like a routine fly ball. Now Kubel drives one to the gap in left center field as his 2nd hit. But the Kubel fly ball suggested that maybe, at least today, the ball is really carrying to left field. That'll bring up Kadire.
Well, good at bat right there by Kubel as Matt Tolbert pinch runs for Jason. So Jason 2 for 4 in the ball game.
Kadire at the plate. He's reached all 3 times. A pair of hits and an intentional walk. Ooh, big swing and a miss. Foul tip, 1 strike. Tolbert running for Kubel. And now 2 strikes. Tigers head home. We talked about their long road trip. They now will be home until the All-Star break. They host Seattle, 3 at home with Baltimore, then 3 with the Twins.
I got to say hello to Phil Roof. Saw Phil Roof yesterday, and he's here again today.
Oh, is he?
Former Twin, yeah. Also, I know Griffin Ryder is 7 years old today. I don't know if we had a chance to circle him, but he's up there somewhere. So happy birthday to him. And we looked for him. We couldn't find him. Brad's probably in line somewhere still eating.
So he's here at the ballpark.
Yeah, he's somewhere at the ballpark. So Griffin, happy 7th birthday to you. A lot of Little League teams here today. And softball teams, looks like.
Laird got stung by that foul tip, or did Kadire's follow through on with the bat getting? Not sure exactly what happened there, but Kevin Rand, the trainer for the Tigers, out to make sure Laird's okay.
Right off the elbow. Take a look right here.
Ouch.
Catchers do get beat up back there.
1-2 to Kadire. Now 2-2.
Laird still flexing that right arm.
Tolbert goes, and Kadire lifts it toward the gap in right center field. And Bosch makes the catch in front of Jackson. Twins are done in the 8th. They'll take a 4-run lead to the 9th. Toyota game reset with the Twins up by 4, 3 outs to go.
Well, the Twins able to score, 3 unearned runs off of Andy Oliver, and they have that 5-1 lead. Justin Morneau with his 16th home run of the year, also an RBI double. Cabrera for the Tigers, the only run off the bat of his in the 3rd inning, an RBI double.
John Roush in the game. He'll face Ordonez, Cabrera, and Bosch.
Yeah, not a save situation for John Roush. And he has not had a save opportunity. Well, the last one he had was that 13-10 comeback win for the Twins. But he ended up getting the win in that ball game. For John Roush's last save came here back on June 16th when he picked up his 17th save against the Colorado Rockies.
1-1. If Maharis had been asked to clean up the 9th inning here, it would have been a save opportunity for him, but you've got to finish the ball game. Roush will try to do that in a non-save situation. Kadire cuts it off, or make that Tolbert, who's over at 3rd base, and he makes the play 1 away with Michael Kadire out in right field. So 1 away.
There's Tolbert right there, and then Kadire going from 3rd to right field as Tolbert pinch ran for Jason Krubel.
That's what we might see if Michael Kadire continues to make starts at 3rd base in late innings in situations like this. This is the move that I would imagine Ron Gardenhire would make, moving Kadire back to right field and getting the speedy Tolbert at 3rd. One and one to Cabrera. And Roush, 92-mile-per-hour fastball in on the handle of the bat. 1-2.
last time Roush has been on the mound, you have to go back to last Thursday when the Twins were in Milwaukee against the Brewers.
Tolbert again. And this time the ball comes out of the glove. It should be an error on Tolbert, I would imagine.
And if that's an error on Tolbert, that's the first error by a third baseman this year.
First ball hit to him looked like it almost leaked through the webbing of the glove.
Yeah, Tolbert going to his left right here, and the ball kind of just short hopped him and played it off to the side. Might have got his right hand in the way right there as he's kind of clinching that right hand. So Tolbert charged with an error. Again, the first error by a third baseman this season.
In the 78th game, almost halfway to the season without a error by the third baseman. Well, here's Bosch. Singled his first time up, since then a strikeout and a pop-up. Foul ball, 1-1. Well, the Twins last night got an encouraging start from Nick Blackburn. Today, you'd have to say they got a good start from Kevin Slowey.
Yeah, very good. Very, very good. I think, you know, he came out of the ball game because that line drive that Ordonez hit off of him, the one hard hopper off that right ankle.
Snap bat and pop up to short right. Hudson under it. 2 down. Two gone are Jimmy John's delivery of the game.
Well, the RBI double for Justin Morneau in the 4th inning when the Twins scored the first run, and then the solo home run in the 6th inning.
And we'll hear from Justin as part of our Quest Twins Live postgame show. Here's Carlos Guillen. Series started with the Tigers beating the Twins and taking over first place. And the Twins are 1 out away from the ultimate response. Win the next 2 games, win the series, and end up with a larger lead over the team that's chasing you than when the series started. 1-0. Now 1-1. And now 2-1.
Well, good fastball right there, and crowd over 40,000 people starting to get on their feet.
And missing inside 3-2.
Isn't it nice to be back at home? Twins looking for their 25th win here at Target Field.
Full count. And Cabrera will take off from first. Hook foul. Again in a week and a half, the rematch is at Comerica Park. Carlos Guillen. Right over Roush's head into center field. The game very much alive. That's a base hit, sending Cabrera to third. Here comes Brandon Inns.
Yeah, at 6'11", you still have to get out of the way of these line drives right back up the middle. Guillen jumping out of ball. And right over the head of John Roush. Watch out. So Guillen picks up his first hit of the ball game, the 7th for the Tigers.
Alex Avila has come out onto the on-deck circle. If Inge keeps the game alive, the Tigers are going to send Avila up in Laird's spot. Ooh. Just left the pitch up, and Inge tried to turn it around. 1 strike. Six home runs on the year, a dangerous hitter. And now he's trying to put him away. There's 2 strikes, and Guillen drops the second. Defensive indifference. Roush with 20 pitches, hoping that the 21st will be his last. 1-2. That's deep to the right field corner. And foul. Butera will run a ball back out to the mound.
Well, it looks like father-son, doesn't it? Okay, Dad.
6'11".
Yeah. Okay, Dad.
1-2. And a foul back. Roush didn't waste any time, and he has thrown 23 pitches, 15 of them strikes. Another 1-2 to Brandon Inge. Check swing, got him.
Great curveball right there.
And the Twins lead the Tigers by a game and a half, taking 2 out of 3. So a rough start to the series, and the Twins very briefly lost their hold on first place. But Anthony, a couple of really good ball games for the Twins have seen them get back on top in the division.
A couple of thorough wins for the Twins. 11-4 last night, 5-1 today, and Minnesota is now back a game and a half in front of the Tigers in the Central. We'll hear from Gardy. We'll get a chance to visit with Justin Morneau, who went deep today, and our instructionals, the 3-6-3 double play, all next on Quest Twins Live.